Hello, Jeff Dunn's my name. I've been working in cancer control for almost 40 years now and recently became a cancer patient myself.
Hello, my name is Professor Chambers. I'm a psycho-oncologist and I'm here today to talk about our new book about facing the challenges of cancer.
So our hope is that this book will be of some value to people who have been diagnosed with this disease, the people that care for them, and of course health professionals that are working with them.
So really, we've worked our whole careers looking after people with cancer, the support of people with cancer, the survivorship experience. How do we help people to manage better in what's a really stressful time? And so over the years, that's involved writing various texts for health professionals and research articles, academic type things. But there's always been this gap that we have seen for a book that talks about the experience in layman's terms, really trying to coach people through that experience, giving them some tools to help themselves pursue wellness and return to a sense of ease about themselves. So when Routledge reached out to us and said, we're doing an Ask the Expert series, would you and Jeff be interested in writing this? We were like, yes, that's just the stimulus that we need to get onto something that we've seen as a gap for some time now.
So there was an element of self-discovery in the process for us. We were invited to write this book after I'd been diagnosed, but not long after. And I was still in active treatment. Suzanne and I were still trying to work out what that meant for us personally. The invitation to write the book was also an opportunity for us to perhaps think through what was going on and record that, and take the opportunity of the personal reflections to help make sense of what was happening in our own lives. So in a way, it's a collision or a confluence of, decades of experience and training and service delivery from the both of us, and then a diagnosis. So it placed us in a unique sort of situation, one that was enjoyable and at times challenging, of course, but one that we found very productive.
We have written it in an accessible way. It's very practical and down to earth. We make it clear about how you would apply these things as a normal person in your normal life. But I think it's also useful for health professionals to read also, because there's tips and ideas in there that a health professional who's caring for someone with cancer, if they have these ideas in their mind, they'll find an opportunity, absolutely, at different times to be able to talk to patients and suggest different evidence-based techniques that they can use. And of course, if they think this type of book would be helpful for their patients, let them know that it's there. We've worked very hard on this book to make it very accessible. The 10 chapters are like chunks, if you like, addressing a different aspect of the experience. So a person doesn't even have to read the whole book if they don't want to. If they've got a particular issue, they can go straight to it, read that chapter, and then keep it like a little pocket handbook that they can come back to when they need to.
It was an opportunity to learn about, how content sometimes, the academic side of things integrates with personal experience. And as professionals working in the field for 35, 40 years, there is learning in putting on another hat, and putting on the hat of a patient or a carer, and seeing how that knowledge then applies, seeing how much sense it makes. And then for us then to try and synthesize that and put it in words. So that's what we've tried to do, clear and concise.
If I was to give one piece of advice, it would be to try and approach this with as flexible a mindset as you can. It's such a roller coaster. There'll be good days and there'll be bad days. If today is difficult, it doesn't mean that tomorrow is going to be the same. And so if you can flex around with your perspective, sort of riding the waves up and down, I guess. I think that's probably the most valuable thing. And remember, this is your experience. You don't have to do what other people tell you or do it the way other people think you should. It's really important to trust your intuition, I think, and to try and approach it as if you were able to kind of go with the flow in a sense. That's probably, if I have to pin it down to one thing, that would be the one thing.
what's important is for anyone out there who has a cancer diagnosis to understand that, as Suzanne says, it's your experience, it's your diagnosis. There is no right or wrong way. At any time, in any given situation, look at what's on the table, try and understand what's important for you, and then make the best choice that you can. And then work with that choice to make the most of it.
I mean, one of the things that was interesting for us when we wrote this book was that I would write advice from a psychological point of view from my training as a health psychologist, and then Jeff would come in with the reality of it as a person who's coping with it. And I thought that was great, because I thought if people read this book, I want them to know that it's real and that they can make different decisions that are really suitable for them. I think that's pretty critical.
So our hope for this book is that we've been able to combine nearly 40 years of training and professional practice, service delivery, with a more recent personal experience of a diagnosis of a life-threatening cancer in ways which are meaningful for cancer patients, for the people that care for them, and for health professionals who work with them, so that together, in a combined way, people not only live longer after this disease, but live well, live their best life after a diagnosis of cancer. And that's what we were hoping to achieve.
A message I'd like to put forward is that the psychological care of people coping with cancer, the person with cancer and their families, it's everybody's job. It's the job of the nurse, it's the job of the doctor, it's the job of the physiotherapist. It's everybody's job who's in that team. And so it's important for all the health professionals in the oncology care team to learn about and understand the psychological experience, what the evidence-based strategies are that we know about, how you can teach these things to people, and to walk beside that patient, taking into account every step of the way what matters to them.
To anyone out there who's interested in beginning a research career or building a career in research in cancer, please do. I mean, there are so many questions about this disease which we still have to answer, from basic biology to treatment and management to quality of life and wellness after diagnosis. It's a rewarding career. There is so much to do, but every day you are working towards making the world a better place, so a world where we reduce the burden of cancer on our community.